homie.
Courtney, your thoughts as a native Chicago.
Chicagoan.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Right? Chicagoan.
That right. Yep.
Yeah. Courtney, your thoughts on have people around Chicago in your hometown compared Nuno to MJ in the past in terms of chip on shoulder?
If they haven't up until this point, they will today. I'm just watching him. He's exasperated back there trying to defend himself against all of us with this drummed up, manufactured motivation that he's creating. Look, there are Knicks haters out there. I don't think the three of us fall into that category. I certainly don't know if Tim Bontemps does, just because he said that the 76ers, should they get past the Celtics, would have a clear path to the NBA Finals. But you do what you have to do as a fan in order to enjoy this moment. I saw them celebrating out on 7th Avenue yesterday. Like, again, they had won the finals. They're going to do this after every game, and I think we should just accept it that is part of their DNA as a fan base, because they are so desperately trying to get back to the conference finals and take a step beyond it. So you know what, Nuno? If you want to call us all haters, if you want to say we're all public enemy number one, if you want to look at us and say that we're the reason that nobody ever believed in the Knicks, a team that has a 3 seed this year, that's fine. I'll own that because I want you happy, ultimately. And you know what? Maybe we're onto something here, because remember my reverse psychology last week with the Dyson Daniels prop, and it ended up working out for you? Maybe I should start picking against the Knicks, just so then something gets put into the ether that ends up turning it into a Knicks win for Nuno.
I like that.
Just a thought.
Thinking karmically. I like that. But I will say this. We do give Knicks fans a tough time for celebrating the early wins. I say let them celebrate. It's awesome. Whether it's outside 7th Avenue, whatever. But whatever they need to do to maintain the energy that you feel when you're in that building, do it. I don't care. Because as somebody that was at the Garden last night, it is palpable. You walk in there, and it doesn't matter that the Met Gala is down the street. It is the biggest and most important place in the world when you are there for Knicks playoff games in the Garden. And so whatever energy Knicks fans need to encapsulate to make sure that their players and the opposition feels it, do it. Because you really do feel it. And I can imagine that the players feel the city behind them in that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I look at the 2 games last night, and I think there's literally no debatable takes here. Meaning everyone should be clear on 2 things with the 2 games. Number 1, the Knicks are awesome right now, and they're destroying everyone. That says nothing about game 2 of this series, and it says nothing about the early portions of Atlanta where they were not great. Right now, through the last 3 games, the Knicks have been awesome. And any concern from people like me that would say, I'm concerned about Jalen Brunson's defense, it does not matter when you're scoring 27 points in the first half. And, oh, by the way, your team's up 40. So if your opposition goes on a 20-0 run, you're still up 20. There's no debatable take. The Knicks are awesome. Yes, Nuno is making stuff up as MJ, Liddell Eccles, or whatever it was back in the day. Liddell Eccles? Is that who it was? LeBradford Smith. Who's Liddell Eccles? Why do I keep saying that? That's another player, I think, on the Washington team back in the day. Anyway, LeBradford Smith is who I meant to say, right? So, there's nothing to that other than the Knicks are awesome right now. Period. Next sentence. Anthony Edwards is a beast. Anthony Edwards fighting back through this injury, this knee injury, and playing last night, 18 points, 25 minutes off the bench, and beating the Spurs. It was amazing. And Wemby shoots too many threes at times, and he's unbelievable. 12 blocks, triple-double, get close to the basket. There's some, you can create controversies, as Nuno is trying to do here, but it's very clear. The Knicks are awesome, and the Timberwolves are led by a madman, and I say that complimentary. I don't know where. I know you're driving Cam and Pat crazy on the made-up hate like MJ, but I don't see it with the Knicks.
But don't you think that it's smart for Knicks fans to do that, to put a recondite chip on their shoulder? Because they need...
Okay, recondite obviously would be word of the day, but I wonder if you're setting me up here. I'm going to say it. Word of the day.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Final answer.
It was the word of the day. Recondite meaning obscure, little known. So if Nuno needs to pull some obscure or recondite slights to have a chip on his shoulder as a Knicks fan, I think that that's smart, because they don't want to get too ahead of themselves. They don't want to think that they have this in the bag. They don't want to think that the series is over after game 1 because of the way the Knicks have been playing since game 3 in series 1.
Who said the series is over? Smalls, this is the thing I like. Why can't we just say the Knicks were awesome last night?
I think we can. I
mean,
don't.
they were chanting Knicks in 4 outside the Garden last night. Like, Knicks fans are saying this series is over.
So if Nuno needs to rein them in and say everyone's doubting us.
But Nuno believes that also.
I don't, Cam, I do not in any way, shape, or form think he thinks Knicks in 4. I will say the Sixers, the Sixers were confusing to me last night. Did they realize that Kelly Oubre, who Jalen Brunson was guarding, was just standing in the corner?
He was trying to measure himself against Cat to see how tall 7 feet is.
Yeah, I mean, like, put Jalen Brunson in a pick and roll, make him guard Maxey. I don't understand. It wouldn't have mattered. Obviously, they were up by so many. But, like, do the Sixers know that there's a clear way of trying to beat the Knicks by going at Brunson? I didn't understand that at all. Kelly Oubre probably could have just been at the Met Gala last night, where he should have been anyway with the way that was. It was awful. They stunk last night. And I don't know that Nuno, to be fair, I don't think Nuno's going to the place of Knicks in 4. Unless I'm wrong.
No, I'm not.
NJ, am I wrong?
No, I'm not that far with the MJ stuff. No, I still think this is a 6 or 7 game series, right? Like, I still think, yes, the Knicks aren't going to keep shooting this way, but there are stuff that happened in that game that you're like, all right, I take a positive. And B didn't look great defensively. Like,
am I wrong, or does he look like he's hurt on every play?
Yes, and I know he took a shot in the stomach.
Yeah.
When he sent one of his screens, he took a shot. But like, the Knicks found something. They attacked him. Jalen Brunson attacked Embiid, which makes you feel comfortable, right? Like, this isn't this isn't the Celtics in terms of how they play when they're trying to guard Embiid or attack Embiid, right? They have guys that can do that. And that's just the thing, right? Like, I look at the positives, like Mikal Bridges the last couple of games has looked like a completely different player, right? OG has been probably like the most complete. He's been the most complete player the Knicks have, right? Like, and Cat struggling with the foul trouble. So there's a lot of things still there that they can clean up. It's going to be a long series because.
Do you hear the joy in his voice as he's saying even all these negatives?
Pat, you don't believe him? You think he thinks Knicks in 4?
Yeah, 100%. He just will never admit it.
No, he doesn't. Because I heard you clearly say, Nuno, about the health factor here and just like the fatigue factor. The 76ers just went through a grueling series with the Boston Celtics. Game 1 was never going to be in their favor. They were 7.5-point dogs for a reason. Clearly, the line could have been double that, and we probably wouldn't have believed it until we saw what we saw last night. But I don't think he's ready to put cart before the horse. The trepidation I hear in his voice. Yes, you're excited about all the things that happened last night. And you brought up Mikal Bridges. That's why I said yes, because finally someone mentions it. He was incredible last night. 17 points on 7 of 10 shooting. Looked awesome on Tyrese Maxey. You gave him the hard assignment. The guy who has been playing his ass off all season long, but particularly in the absence of Paul George, in the absence of Joel Embiid, it's been Tyrese Maxey once again getting his team through the glut of the season and into the postseason. Like, you gave him the hardest matchup, and he shut him down last night. That's something that I think you can be excited about while also being realistic that this is not at all going to be a sweep.
One other point on Bridges. Let's not forget the personal aspect of this. If we're doing chip on shoulder here, the man was drafted initially by the Philadelphia 76ers, where his mother is an employee of the organization, or was at the time of draft. Never played a game there. They traded him immediately to the Suns on draft night. If I were him, I would be looking at that team and just reminded, you don't want me. You didn't want me. Philly guy, Villanova, mom works for you didn't want me, and I'm coming to get you, right? One other quick thing on this. I think they're 3 wins away from the Mike Brown, Tom Thibodeau conversation not existing. In other words, I know that you fired Tibbs for the next guy to get to the finals. I don't believe Tom Thibodeau ever would have gotten to the finals with this team. So if Mike Brown just simply gets you to the Eastern Conference Finals, we can say that Tom Thibodeau helped the Knicks revive the franchise with Jalen Brunson, but Mike Brown could do the same. That's just my opinion. You're giving me a look. You don't agree with that.
I think if they don't get to the finals, that conversation is existing. They don't have to simply match their output
I don't
from
buy
last
for a
year.
second, though, that they would have gotten to the finals with him.
No, because we would have been the minutes police once again in the playoffs, and his players would look tired and exhausted the way that they had in the last couple of postseasons. This team looks rejuvenated.
Yeah.
They were down 2-1, and they're a completely different team. It's like that was the best thing that could have happened to them.
The best thing that can happen to everybody out there is Small's telling you right now about PayPal.
That's right. PayPal is proud to be the official